Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff today. I'm reviewing the song Happiness by The Heavy Heavy. As usual, this song comes to you as a request from one of my viewers. So if you want to get your song reviewed, just do what they did. Leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to add it to my list. To my knowledge, I've never heard anything from The Heavy Heavy, so kind of just going in blind here and hoping for a good song. It looks like this one's pretty new, June 11th. 2024, so just last year, just a few months ago, that this song came out, at least according to this. Hey, let's dive in. Let's see how we like it. Again, this is Happiness, The Heavy Heavy. I did grab the official music video. I do often have bad luck with official music videos, especially when it has that little Vivo in the corner. You may be able to see the music video here. You may not. So we'll see. Anyway, here we go.
Happiness, I've been looking for you lately. Loneliness, I was passing by today. Been laying my heavy head down for too long. Storminess, I've been waiting for the ending. I'm on the main line, walking straight into the fire, like a dagger into the sun. I'm two from one. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I gotta get back on my feet again. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I'll never ever be the same. Happiness, you've been looking kinda lonely. Loneliness, I've been thinking that you go. Been laying my heavy head down for too long. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I gotta get back on my feet again. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I'll never ever be the same. But meanwhile, it keeps rolling by. And meanwhile, you know it just rolls and rolls and everything in between. Meanwhile, you know it just rolls and rolls and everything in between. Meanwhile, it keeps rolling by. I was living like thunder and pounding rain. I gotta get back on my feet again. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. Never ever be the same. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I gotta get back on my feet again. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. Never ever be the same. Happiness, I've been looking for you lately.
Yeah, I like that a whole lot. I think everything in that video, from the sound to the visuals to the bottle of Coca-Cola placement, everything felt very like 60s, 70s, like pop, psychedelic pop, folk pop, I should say. Like very reminiscent of like the Mamas and the Papas, for example. I don't know too much of their music, so hopefully I'm not talking out of my ass. But like the Mamas and the Papas, or like Peter, Paul, and Mary, like kind of reminds me of music in that same vein. But I liked it again, like the presentation, the sound, the choice of microphones, the use of color, especially things like yellows, again, are very reminiscent of that like late 60s, early 70s feel. Um, and the music I think matched suit. So I really like this a lot, though. I mean, I have nothing but positives to say here. So let's break it down piece by piece, like we always do, of course, starting with those lyrics. So um, happiness, I've been looking for you lately. Loneliness, I was passing by today. Been laying my heavy head down for too long. Storminess, I've been waiting for the ending. I'm on the main line, walking straight into the fire like a dagger into the sun. I'm two from one. So I think pretty clearly this song is about feeling down, right? Like not having happiness in your life, feeling lonely, feeling kind of having that storm cloud over you, Um, and so just kind of wishing for those happy times to come back, that kind of thing. So I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I've got to get back on my feet again. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I'll never be the same. Yeah. So again, like really leaning into that imagery of like storm clouds and the rain kind of putting a dour mood on everything. Happiness, you've been looking kind of lonely. Loneliness, I've been thinking that you'd go. Been laying my heavy head down for too long. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I've got to get back on my feet again. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I'll never be the same. Or I even wonder, like, thunder and pounding rain is something that, I think is very sort of energetic, right? Loud and sort of abrasive in a sense. And so I wonder if maybe they're talking about living life maybe too fast, too kind of loose, playing too loose with the rules, and that sort of causing things to go sour, But that's maybe one way. Like as I'm reading through the chorus again, I'm like, okay, I could see how maybe you could take it that way as well. But I think regardless, again, it's about wanting to find that happiness ultimately. So in the bridge, and meanwhile it keeps rolling by, and meanwhile it just rolls and rolls and everything in between. Meanwhile it just rolls and rolls and everything in between. Meanwhile, yeah, it keeps rolling by. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I've got to get back on my feet again. I was living like the thunder and pounding rain. I'll never be the same. Kind of goes on like that for some time, and then happiness. I've been looking for you lately. So yeah, again, to me it's about trying to find that happiness again that you've lost for whatever reason, but just looking for those happier times. I think lyrically, it was pretty simple, straightforward, but sometimes it's really good. I talk a lot on the channel about how I like lyrics that make you think, or that even have multiple interpretations, and so people can kind of pull their own meaning out of it. I feel like this one's a little bit more straightforward, and again, that's not always a bad thing for me at all. So I mean, lyrically, I think it tells a little story. It's very relatable. It's good. I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up. As far as the instrumentation and vocals go, I really liked the vocal style here. I'm kind of a sucker for things like harmonizing, or even just like dual lead vocals, So I think between her and him, whoever, whatever the names are, I like their kind of main vocal performance. You get a lot of that background singing as well, which you get to even see in the video too. That I think really brings in a nice, just again, a vocal performance that is very reminiscent of a specific time. But it brings this nice energy and kind of brightness to and poppiness to the song itself. Really impressed by the guitar riffs that you get throughout as well. I think it was very easy to just kind of jam out to and enjoy the guitar work that they were playing here. But then you also get a little bit from that keyboard. You get the drums and everything. I think works really well in this song. Again, very reminiscent of a specific time frame. But that's really cool. It's a shame to say that this sort of style has to stay in one decade or whatever. It's, I think, really fun. Like, yes, of course, there are bands that are always revolutionizing their sound or pushing the envelope for what music can sound like. But to me, it's a shame that you don't always hear like styles from previous decades come back. So when you do kind of hear something like that, it's like, oh, okay, that's nice. It's like the classics that I love, but with a new coat of paint, kind of refreshed for a modern generation. So really cool. I think instrumentally, vocally, regardless of what decade or what style it took influence from, it just does sound really good. So I'm giving it 2 big thumbs up there. As far as replay value goes, this is one of those that easily goes on my playlist. I can definitely see myself listening to this again. It's just one of those that you can put on and really just enjoy the sound. So I mean, 2 thumbs up across the board. It was a fantastic song and an excellent recommendation. Thank you so much for the person who dropped the comment to listen to this one. So again, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the music as much as I did, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. And if you enjoy what you saw on the channel today, consider supporting the channel. Like and subscribe and comment, all that good stuff. You can also check the description if you'd like to follow me on Twitch, TikTok, or Instagram. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.